Burkina Faso is standing at the crossroads of history, and under the leadership of President Ibrahim Traoré, the country is making bold moves towards self-sufficiency. In a world where food security is a growing concern and economies are struggling under the weight of imports, Burkina Faso is choosing a different path, one of resilience, independence, and economic strength. On February 20th, a monumental step was taken in this journey with the inauguration of the Moulin Double Star Mill, M2S, a state-of-the-art facility capable of producing 220 tons of flour and 80 tons of bran every single day. But this is not just a factory. This is a symbol of a nation's determination to take control of its destiny. For decades, Burkina Faso has relied heavily on imported wheat and flour, leaving its food supply vulnerable to global price fluctuations, political instability, and supply chain disruptions. Each year, millions in foreign currency flow out of the country to purchase something as fundamental as flour, an ingredient that sustains millions of Burkinabés. But Ibrahim Traoré's vision is clear. Burkina Faso must not just survive, it must thrive. The era of dependency must come to an end, and the time to build a self-sufficient economy is now. This mill is more than concrete, steel, and machinery. It is an investment in the future of Burkina Faso. It is a promise to the farmers who will now have a greater market for their grains. It is hope for thousands of workers who will find employment in milling, logistics, and distribution. It is a guarantee that families across the country will have access to locally produced flour, strengthening national food security and ensuring that the people of Burkina Faso are no longer at the mercy of international markets. The presence of President Ibrahim Traoré at the inauguration was not just symbolic, it was a declaration of intent. His leadership has been defined by action, by a commitment to restoring economic power to the people of Burkina Faso. Unlike past administrations that leaned on foreign aid and external solutions, Traoré is proving that the country has the resources, the expertise, and the willpower to build a future where it produces what it consumes. The Moulin Double Star Mill is a testament to this vision, a vision of a Burkina Faso that stands strong, feeds itself, and lays the foundation for a new era of economic liberation. In this video, we will break down why this mill is a game changer, how it will impact the economy, and why it represents a crucial piece of Ibrahim Traoré's mission for a self-sufficient Burkina Faso. This is not just about flour. It's about freedom, resilience, and the future of a nation that refuses to be held back. Stay with me, because this story is bigger than just one factory. It is the story of a revolution in the making. Join the movement and be part of the revolution. Show your support by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Every click helps us amplify the African story, told the African way. Your support means everything to us. Thank you, and enjoy the video. For years, Burkina Faso's food security has been at the mercy of external forces. The country has historically relied on imported wheat and flour to feed its population, sending millions of dollars abroad each year to secure a basic necessity. This dependence has not only drained foreign reserves, but has also left the nation vulnerable to the unpredictable nature of global markets. When international supply chains are stable, food imports may seem like a reliable solution. But as recent years have shown, the world is anything but stable. Conflicts in major wheat-producing regions, economic sanctions, and inflation have all contributed to a volatile global market. Prices fluctuate dramatically, and when supply is disrupted, Burkina Faso finds itself in a precarious position, forced to pay more for a commodity it does not control. In a country where food security is already a challenge, these external pressures put an unbearable strain on the economy and the daily lives of ordinary citizens. To put the situation into perspective, Burkina Faso has been importing over 200,000 tons of wheat annually, a significant portion of which is converted into flour to meet domestic demand. The reliance on foreign suppliers has made the country highly susceptible to price shocks. In 2022 alone, the price of wheat surged due to international crises, putting additional pressure on an economy that could ill afford it. Meanwhile, local farmers who produce alternative grains like sorghum and millet have struggled to compete, as imported wheat remains dominant in the food industry. But what if Burkina Faso no longer had to depend so heavily on imported flour? What if, instead of sending money abroad, it could invest in local production, create jobs, and stabilize food prices? That is exactly the vision behind the Moulin Double Star Mill M2S, a project designed to change the course of Burkina Faso's economic future. With the inauguration of M2S, Burkina Faso is taking a bold step toward food sovereignty. This state-of-the-art facility has the capacity to produce 220 tons of flour and 80 tons of bran per day, significantly reducing the need for imported wheat-based products. For the first time, Burkina Faso can rely on its own milling industry to supply a major portion of its flour demand. But the impact of this mill extends far beyond production numbers. By producing flour locally, Burkina Faso is keeping more of its wealth within its borders. Instead of spending hard-earned foreign currency on imports, the country can reinvest in its own agriculture, incentivizing farmers to grow more grain and strengthening the local supply chain. This shift means more jobs, both directly within the mill and indirectly through transportation, logistics, and retail. It also opens up new opportunities for small bakeries and food producers, who can now source flour at stable prices without the uncertainty of international fluctuations. Furthermore, the production of 80 tons of bran daily is a crucial benefit for the livestock sector. Bran is a key ingredient in animal feed, and by increasing local availability, Burkina Faso can also support its dairy and poultry industries, further boosting economic growth. Perhaps most importantly, the Moulin Double Star Mill will help stabilize food prices. When a country is dependent on imports, every global crisis, from a war in a distant land to a drought in another continent, can send shockwaves through local markets. But with local production, Burkina Faso gains control over its own pricing and food distribution, ensuring that Burkinabés can afford essential food staples even in times of international uncertainty. This is not just about milling flour, it's about building an economy that stands on its own, protecting the livelihoods of its people, and proving that Burkina Faso is capable of producing what it consumes. With M2S, President Ibrahim Traoré is not just opening a factory, he is laying the foundation for a future where Burkina Faso's food security is no longer dictated by forces beyond its borders. Here is a clip of the Burkinabe president speaking at the inauguration.
C'est un promoteur privé qui a eu l'initiative de faire cette usine. Notre présence ici, c'est d'abord encourager aussi le secteur privé à emboîter le même pas, à permettre de transformer nos matières premières ici sur place. Donc, nous venons encourager le promoteur, certes, mais à travers lui, inviter tous les Burkinabés qui sont en mesure de transformer nos matières premières, d'industrialiser le pays, de se lancer dans la dynamique, et aussi ceux qui sont de l'extérieur, les inviter à venir investir au Burkina Faso. Donc, c'est ce message que nous sommes venus lui porter. Dans un passé récent, nous avons dû prendre des mesures pour interdire l'importation de farine de blé, parce que la farine de blé a toujours été importée au Burkina Faso. Et il a compris notre message, il a compris notre vision, il faisait partie, sinon c'est le plus grand importateur de farine de blé. Il a décidé de se lancer dans cette usine. Nous l'avons encouragé et accompagné, et aujourd'hui c'est une réalité. Et en plus de tout ça, nous l'avons encouragé à s'investir dans la culture de blé, accompagner les producteurs de blé, et il a bien compris le message, et j'espère que 2026, il aura aussi donc, une bonne part de production de blé pour passer dans quelques années d'importateur, il y a quelques années de farine, à exportateur de farine de blé made in Burkina Faso. Donc c'est un motif de satisfaction et félicitations, bon vent aux promoteurs. Les perspectives pour cette filière, comme vous constatez donc, à travers les sorties du ministre de l'Agriculture, je pense que nous avons décidé d'initier la culture de blé. Ça a bien marché, c'est assez porteur et les résultats sont satisfaisants. cette année 2025, à travers l'INERA, donc, nous avons entamé une culture importante de semences de pré-base, et ce qui veut dire que 2026, nous allons booster la production de blé. C'est promoteur et nous ne pouvons pas continuer à importer du blé, faire de la farine. Nous voulons devenir exportateurs dans quelques années de farine de blé. Voilà donc nos ambitions et avec l'accompagnement de tout le monde, que ce soit les producteurs et les transformateurs, nous escomptons donc atteindre cet objectif.
This is certainly a huge victory for Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso, but it came with a lot of difficult decisions. In April 2024, President Traoré made the decision to ban wheat imports into Burkina Faso. At the time, this decision was met with skepticism and concern, as Burkina Faso, like many African nations, relied heavily on imported wheat to meet its domestic demand. The sudden halt in imports raised fears of shortages and price hikes, but Traoré had a vision: to break the country's dependence on foreign grain and boost local agricultural production. To make this vision a reality, his administration swiftly introduced policies to support local farmers. Investments were made in irrigation systems, improved seeds, and training programs to help farmers increase wheat production. Government subsidies and incentives encouraged more people to cultivate wheat, while research institutions were engaged to develop high-yield, climate-resistant varieties suited to Burkina Faso's environment. Though the transition was not easy, these measures slowly started to show results. Fast forward to today, and Traoré's decision is paying off in a big way. What once seemed like a risky gamble has now positioned Burkina Faso as a model for agricultural independence in Africa. The inauguration of the Moulin Double Star Mill, M2S, is not just about food security. It's about economic empowerment. This project is set to create hundreds of direct and indirect jobs, breathing life into multiple sectors of the economy. Within the mill itself, skilled and semi-skilled workers will be needed for flour production, machinery operation, maintenance, quality control, and packaging. Logisticians and supply chain professionals will manage the transportation of raw materials and finished products, ensuring efficient distribution across the country. Beyond the mill, the impact ripples even further. Farmers, transporters, bakers, and retailers will all benefit from increased economic activity. Local bakeries and food processing industries will have greater access to flour, allowing them to expand their businesses and hire more workers. The creation of these new jobs means higher household incomes, reduced unemployment, and greater economic stability for Burkinabe families. Moreover, this project presents an opportunity for skill development. Milling, food processing, and logistics are industries that require specialized knowledge, and the rise of local flour production will encourage the training of a new generation of professionals in these fields. Over time, Burkina Faso could even become a regional leader in milling technology, exporting expertise as well as products. One of the most immediate benefits of the Moulin Double Star Mill is the reduction in foreign currency spent on wheat and flour imports. Every year, Burkina Faso has spent millions of dollars purchasing wheat from foreign suppliers, money that could have been used to strengthen local industries, support farmers, and create jobs. With M2S now in operation, a significant portion of this capital will remain within Burkina Faso, circulating through local businesses and stimulating domestic economic growth. In the long term, Burkina Faso has the potential to become a regional supplier of flour and bran, exporting products to neighboring countries that also struggle with food security. By investing in advanced milling technologies and improving production efficiency, the country could position itself as a leader in West Africa's flour industry. With strategic government policies and continued investment in agriculture, Burkina Faso may soon reach a point where it not only meets its domestic demand, but also generates export revenue, further strengthening the national economy. This development aligns perfectly with President Ibrahim Traoré's vision. Since assuming power, he has made it clear that his administration is not here to maintain the status quo. His leadership is defined by economic nationalism, self-reliance, and the rejection of dependency on foreign aid and imports. The Moulin Double Star Mill, M2S, is a perfect embodiment of this vision, a strategic move that reinforces Burkina Faso's ability to produce for itself, feed its people, and control its economic destiny. Traoré's broader economic policies emphasize industrialization, agricultural development, and infrastructure expansion, key pillars for national growth. The launch of M2S aligns with this strategy by addressing one of the country's most pressing challenges: food security and import dependency. By prioritizing local production, Traoré is not just solving an economic issue. He is laying the foundation for a more resilient and self-sustaining Burkina Faso. This approach stands in stark contrast to past administrations, which largely relied on imported food supplies, international loans, and external aid, rather than investing in domestic industries. While previous governments may have spoken about self-sufficiency, few have taken bold, concrete steps to make it a reality. M2S signals a break from past economic policies, demonstrating that under Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso is committed to building its own industries rather than remaining a passive participant in the global market. One of the most remarkable aspects of the M2S project is the collaboration between the Burkinabe government and the Zidnaba Group, a leading private sector player. This partnership is a blueprint for how state and private enterprises can work together to drive economic transformation. Unlike past models where the government either relied solely on foreign investments or directly controlled major projects, this initiative leverages the expertise, efficiency, and financial power of the private sector while aligning with national interests. The Zidnaba Group's 15 billion CFA francs, $23.6 million investment into this mill is not just a business venture. It's a patriotic commitment to Burkina Faso's future. This synergy between public and private sectors ensures that the project is financially sustainable, efficiently managed, and capable of long-term growth. It also sets a precedent for future investments in agriculture, energy, and manufacturing, demonstrating that Burkina Faso can build world-class industries with its own resources, talent, and vision. The Moulin Double Star Mill is more than just an industrial project. It is a statement of independence. For too long, Burkina Faso's economy has been tied to imported goods, foreign aid, and international financial institutions. This project marks a decisive step towards self-sufficiency, proving that the nation does not need to rely on external powers to meet its most basic needs. By investing in local industries, Traoré's government is rejecting the neo-colonial economic model that has kept many African nations dependent on imported goods and foreign assistance. Instead of waiting for external solutions, Burkina Faso is building its own factories, empowering its own farmers, and creating its own jobs. This move also has a powerful psychological and symbolic impact. It sends a message to the Burkinabe people that they do not have to look abroad for progress. The solutions to their challenges can and must come from within. This shift in mindset could inspire similar initiatives in other sectors, such as textile production, energy, and pharmaceuticals, paving the way for a fully independent economy. The significance of this shift cannot be overstated. For too long, African nations have been told that development must come from outside, that progress depends on foreign investments, foreign aid, and foreign expertise. But Burkina Faso is proving otherwise. This mill is not just about flour. It's about a new way of thinking, one that prioritizes local talent, local industries, and local solutions over external dependence. Imagine the possibilities if this mindset spreads. If Burkina Faso can build its own flour mills today, why not textile factories tomorrow? Why not pharmaceutical plants? Why not energy production hubs that harness the power of the sun and wind to light up every home and business? This is more than just economic policy. This is a revolution of self-sufficiency. But this revolution will not be won by the government alone. It requires the people, the farmers, the mill workers, the entrepreneurs, the engineers, the everyday citizens, to believe in this vision and push it forward. It requires support for local businesses, investment in homegrown talent, and the boldness to choose national progress over imported convenience. And so, to every Burkinabe watching this is your moment. This is the time to stand behind industries that serve the nation, to support leaders who prioritize independence, and to demand more initiatives that put Burkina Faso first. Every purchase of locally produced goods, every new business started, every innovation pursued is another step toward true economic freedom. To the rest of Africa and the world, Burkina Faso is setting an example. If a nation that once depended on imports can build its own food security, then what is stopping others from doing the same? This is the time to rethink the future, to challenge old systems, and to take control of what rightfully belongs to us. The era of dependency is over. The future belongs to those who build it. And Burkina Faso has just taken a monumental step toward building its own. Now, what will you do to push this movement forward? This is just the beginning of Burkina Faso's journey towards true economic independence, and we're here to document every step of it. If you believe in Africa's potential, if you support local industries over foreign dependence, then let's keep this conversation going. Hit that like button to show your support for Burkina Faso's progress. Drop a comment and let me know, what other industries should African nations take control of next? And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss updates on Africa's rise to self-sufficiency. Together, we can change the narrative. Africa builds, Africa thrives, Africa wins. See you in the next video.